And that stinks because most of it was coming from our best linemen, Lonnie Tardif, Mitch Morse, Mitchell Schwartz. So it was concerning. I'm not, whatever. I'm not getting all over a barrel.
You're not jumping off a cliff over it, but
it's concerning.
Okay. I was just about to ask, is it fair to say that you're minorly concerned?
Minorly concerned about the offensive line. The defensive line, the run stopping looked very good. I was actually very happy with it, and that was going to coming in. That was going to be one of the weaknesses. This rebuilding defense, and Xavier Williams, Allen Bailey, Chris Jones, they all looked really, really good. A big thing that I noticed was, do you see the penalties on Emerson?
No, I did not.
Okay, so they weren't egregious pass interferences, but these refs are very, very trigger happy right now in the secondary with the new hitting rule. So I don't know if this is just a preseason thing.
I was just about to say, this is something that the NFL is pushing. It's preseason for the refs also. Until I see it on week 1, I can't get too bent out of shape.
Me neither. I'll just say that 2 in a single game is unacceptable. And the other thing that's unacceptable, our second team D got absolutely torched by Brandon Weeden. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care what the situation is, preseason or otherwise. A backup quarterback like Brandon Weeden should not look like Tom Brady against your second. It makes me think that our second team D, that our depth on defense isn't that good. Because quite frankly, I don't know if it's that good this year. That's the Kansas City Chiefs for you.
No, listen, that's a huge concern for the Chiefs. There's no question about that.
And Mahomes, everyone stop panicking. 5 for 7, 37 yards. You're not going to get anything done.
33 yards.
Yeah, whatever. You're not going to do anything when you're on your back for the entire game. So
yeah, hey, listen, he was pressured all game. I do agree with you there. There is cause for concern for the Chiefs with their defensive depth because Brandon Weeden did look like the second coming of Tom Brady.
Oh my God.
Nick, I agree with you 100%. There's one other thing I want to bring up. You brought up Mahomes being on his back. This is as good a segue as any to do this. Josh Allen, people were ripping on him for that play that he made where he thought he was playing Madden online. Yes, it was a stupid play. You should never do that. But it's his first ever NFL game. That's going to happen. I'm not concerned at all. I'm in love with that arm. I'll tell you that.
I don't like Josh Allen at all.
I think Buffalo's future is extraordinarily bright.
Yeah,
really.
I really do. I think if the Jets don't turn this around,
I have faith in Allen.
If the Jets don't turn this around fast, I think you might be looking at Allen being the class of the division.
Well, it's the accuracy that concerns you with Allen.
Yeah.
And that's going to take some getting used to the wide receivers also to catch the ball from someone with a literal cannon for an arm. Benjamin never had that. Coleman really only had that in college. It's really going to be
I feel like Kelvin Benjamin had a quarterback that had an arm. I think Cam Newton...
Not as much as Allen.
Well, not as much as Allen, but yeah, that's because Allen's arm is like ridiculous.
Newton is nowhere near as good a deep thrower as Allen. It's not even close. I like Cam Newton a lot. I don't want it to come off like I'm criticizing him, but he's not a great deep ball thrower.
Did you see that Cam Newton also confronted Kelvin Benjamin?
I was about to say that. Yeah. It was going to be fight night, and I was very excited.
Well, yeah, because Kelvin Benjamin was talking trash, so good for Cam Newton. Get up in his face.
Did you see the actual video?
Yeah, I saw the video.
Did you think that Newton was going to go over there and squash the beef, or do you think he was trying to raise it again?
I feel like he was definitely trying to be like, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you talking?
Like, do we have a problem here?
Yeah, probably like something like that. Yeah.
The Panthers signed Tyler Larson to a 2-year extension worth $4.4 million. Did you like that segue, guys?
Yeah, look at that.
According to Pro Football Focus, last year he had a 67.2 overall grade. What do you think of the deal?
The Panthers need all the offensive line help they can get.
Boy, do they.
They do not have a good offensive line, and if you're thinking about choosing Christian McCaffrey in fantasy at all, oh boy, don't. As a flex option, maybe he'll be good.
PPR, he'd be good.
Well, he'll get 10 receptions for 10 yards. He's not
you get 11 points. You get 11 points in PPR.
So go for a flex, but, I think as Carolina is really kind of fallen off, since their Super Bowl run, and it's unfortunate to see, but again, their offensive line, I guess, I'm going to be honest, I don't know much about this guy, but I will say that, his grade is,
good for a backup.
Yeah, it's good for a backup. And again, like I said before,
he's behind Ryan Khalil.
Yeah, and they need all the offensive line help they can get because that offensive line is
and people are getting hurt for Carolina on the O-line.
I'll just say this about Larson. It's a feel-good story. This is an undrafted guy who has had a lot of promise coming out. He's been bounced from the Dolphins, bounced from the Redskins, finally got a shot when Gronkowski and Khalil went down. I think they got him at a great value, and they need him. And on top of that, who knows when Khalil's going to go down anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel good for him because as a brother of a guy who got bounced around the league a lot, I can totally identify with that. So I think it's a great thing for him. It's a good thing for the Panthers because they need all the help they can get on that line.
According to Ian Rappaport of NFL.com, the Raiders could trade Donald Penn along with Khalil Mack to the Jets. No, I'm just kidding. According to Pro Football Focus, last year he had a 79.4 overall grade. Do you think that Oakland should trade him? What do you think they can get for him?
I don't know if they should trade him because I think Donald Penn has been a very good left tackle throughout his career, and I think they can't afford to lose him right now, especially in the situation they're in. But, they want him to take a pay cut, which is the reason for, him, and he doesn't want one, obviously, so, they're considering trading him. His current contract right now is 2 years, $18.7 million, and their backup is a rookie, Colton Miller, out of UCLA. So,
really athletic guy, Colton Miller.
Yeah, so, maybe if you really believe in him to step up and take that role already as, starting left tackle, which is, one of the biggest roles on the offensive line because you have to worry about the blind side of the quarterback. But, I really don't think they should be looking to trade Donald Penn. I think, he is an older guy, but who knows how ready this rookie is, and I feel like this is not the time where you should be trading away your pieces right now.
It's kind of weird that Gruden is looking to trade this veteran when he's been bringing in veterans the entire offseason, basically.
Exactly. And, when I look at this, me saying, they shouldn't trade away their pieces, and I just said they should trade Khalil Mack. The reason why they should trade Khalil Mack, it's a different situation, is because he hasn't contacted John Gruden since he's been hired, and that was back in, January, February?
January, yeah.
Yeah, so you think about how long they haven't come in contact with your head coach now. Like, that is a bad situation. That's not like a whole... This is an extreme holdout.
It looks really bad for the Raiders.
I think that's why you have to get rid of this guy, no matter what team he's going to.
I have a question. It's not something you're going to be able to mend either.
Yeah.
I have a question though. Do you think that with Khalil Mack not getting in touch with Gruden already, do you think that his value goes down in terms of a trade value?
I think so, a little bit.
Yeah, it's possible. You don't know if the guy is going to be cancer in the locker room. The one thing I'll say is he never really had this problem with Jack Del Rio. He just may not mesh with Gruden. Gruden's an old school guy. Mac's a new school guy.
I really don't think Gruden's going to do it for him, if you want me to be honest. I think this is going to be a failed experience.
I love Gruden. I do think he can lead Oakland back to the promised land.
Good. I hope for Oakland, but personally, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Okay, let me rephrase. Not Oakland, the Raiders, because they're going to be in Vegas.
Las Vegas, yes. Keep forgetting about that, too.
Did you guys see the Madden glitch? The Chargers being in San Diego?
Yes.
Man, they should have never left.
It was a stupid move to begin with.
Yes, it was. That fan base did dirty, let me tell you.
Dean Spanos, that was terrible.
Horrible owner. So we got about 3 minutes left. We can start the bottom of the ninth a little early. It's all right. Mine's going to go long. All right, here we go.
So, One Jets Drive is back with more episodes. You should check that out on Facebook Watch. And also, it was great to see Andrew Luck back on the field yesterday. His first pass, of course, it went to T.Y. Hilton. I think that's going to be a dominant connection this year, and I'm excited to see.
Did you say a Dominic connection?
No, dominant.
Oh, dominant. I thought you were saying
Are
Dominic.
you just thinking about Dominic this whole time?
Yes, I'm going to miss it so much.
Dominant connection.
All right. I thought you said Dominic because I thought you had him on your fantasy team.
No.
That would be a good name, though.
But I'm glad to see Andrew Luck back on the field. It's good for football and good for the Colts, of course.
Eric?
John Starks, I know this was before I was born. I forgive you for 1994 for tossing up bricks all over the place game against the Houston Rockets in Game 7. And by the way, happy birthday.
And against Reggie Miller, too. Don't forget about that.
Houston, Melo official.
Yes, exactly.
Did you see the Hawks sent Melo a jersey?
That was so funny.
Oh, what a run. They better retire his number.
I will tell you, I followed Dwight Howard for 2 weeks on Twitter when he was a Brooklyn Net. So, you know what? All more power to him. Nick?
1 for 24 in your last 7 is not going to cut it, and an underwhelming season in general. Right now, I'm sorry, Greg Bird should not be thought of for the playoff roster until this turns around.
Who do you want playing first base?
I don't care. It needs to be somebody other than him.
Walker?
He's a total waste.
I would have to be okay with
Greg
Walker.
Bird.
He is a total waste at the plate.
Really dislike him.
Here's what I'll say about him. He's now got basically a full year under his belt as far as at bats are concerned, and it's not doesn't look good.
So you think he's done?
I'm not saying he's done. We can't risk going into the playoffs with him as a liability. Next year we can continue and try again.
It's fair to wonder if Bird can be the answer at first base going forward. If you want Walker at first in the playoffs,
that's what I
would actually be okay with.
Yeah.
And you get the versatility. He can play second. He can play third.
I'm not going to kill you too much for that. So next week is your last show on Beyond the Game, Dominic. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to talk sports for about 40 to 45 minutes. We'll take a quick break, and then I get to spend the remainder of the show gushing about you. You'll do a retrospective.
Oh, wow. Oh, Dom, you're blushing.
More than any girl has ever.
And it should be a lot of fun. I want you to know I am going to miss you. I'm still not over it.
Let's sob when it comes.
Why couldn't you wait 2 more weeks?
Well, it's not my fault. It's when orientation is. It's the next day for me. I have to go.
Orientation. You're going to go to Cooperstown a lot?
I think I'll definitely go out there at least once. Definitely, yeah.
All right, sounds good. All right. Looks like we're about out of time here on Beyond the Game. You can hear Zach in the background. This week's LI News with Bill McIntyre's coming up next. For Dominic Arbolino, Eric Fischetti, and Nick Orenberger, I am Jacob Volk saying that I understand why Sandy Koufax won 25 games. What I don't understand is how he lost 5.